Kenny. Today's episode is about different opinions on the Civil War. This is the starter. Here is in favor of slavery. Yes. Yeah, I heard slavery. And stupid. Okay. Multiple black critics. Correct, Baba.
I'm rich under like 50. You might say slave early podcast that has breaks.
That's Steve's happy easy. And to take the 2 6. That's L. Hey, huh. So, what do you guys think about Sir the Younger being pedophile? That's not what we're talking about right now. We're talking about the Civil War. I think the South should have won. I also think the war was unnecessary to an extent if you're just factoring in slavery. Slavery alone is literally impossible to have been the cause for the war because every other nation in history has never had money. Out slavery, the North was just worried about it. Well, it was money. It was states' rights versus the federal government, and it was states' rights versus the federal government. You not know what that is?
Or to go.
Which is correct because everybody forgets, and there's a lot of lies and misconceptions to go around. But we are not a country full of states. We are we are states who come together to form a country.
That is really deep talk. I have been about you, Daniel, for the podcast, so we don't get eaten. So that's how we're called the United States.
Exactly. This country. Yes, exactly. And even then, because when you try to take things governmentally, like you do a federal government, you're going to end up screwing somebody over. The more local your problems had to get, the local solution is the answer. You don't need the state government to go down in a small town and dictate what that small town can do, because that small town's, like, I don't know, mayor is going to know who the people voted for is going to know a little bit better than the state on what they need to be doing. I just thought about this. When he Ben Shapiro to come on the show, I'll even take a Zoom call. Here it is. Daily Wire sends Ben Shapiro to us, please. He is not going to.
Right, Jack. Then you.
That's not going to happen. Because he's hoped. Anyways, though, the Civil War in many ways wasn't really a racist thing. In fact, the North wasn't even a perfect, I guess, kingdom on the hill that it's made out to be in our class, because they also had their own version of slavery. It's called corporate slaves. It's all immigrants and very poor, both black and white Americans, put them in a sweatshop and ruined their children. The families that get insurance, they don't get insurance. I think it was a call why they don't get any unions. They don't get any really rights to say anything about. And so yeah, it was even not good pay. They got like maybe a cent every hour they work.
Funny. Oh, yeah, burn and dies. I'm not right for the freak.
That's almost even worse. Well, it's 1 hour a day, right? It was 12 hours a day. 12 hours a day.
And they will be they'll be trapped in the room with those.
In fact, why so many fires started and why so many people died from the fires
Was because of the machine.
was because not only because of the machines,
Blocking
but it was because the doors were locked. You could not leave.
There were no emergency exits. I remember somebody said that there was a ladder that was supposed to be there for them to escape the fire. Thunder.
People all the time. Exactly. However, like, you know, that was the North. The South didn't have that. In fact, the South had probably less slavery and arson takeover operations than the North did, because it was really only the rich 1% that actually owned slaves, and the poor people didn't. Okay,
because as we learned in class, no larger farms, they were the ones that had slaves. The small farms couldn't afford slaves. They were working their way up poverty without slave labor.
Exactly. And even the smaller people who did own slaves worked right at the side of their slaves and treated slaves very rarely. Now, that's still no excuse to have slaves. Slavery is an evil and terrible practice.
But I think it's also necessary that we realize that slaves aren't necessarily only white people. If you think about it, in early times, there were
The whites.
there were slaves of all races. They slavery can't be defined as evil race. It's a terrible thing that's going on because of just the people. People said that whites were the only people enslaving people. There were Hispanics, Frenchmen.
In fact, the black people in their own continent enslaved their own people and shipped them out in the African slave trade who were running.
And all for money.
The greed is an extreme
That's why much of this country's problem started. Whoa. All the years. It's usually that there's a chart over this stuff that much country think there would have been a world war, like World War, and Kamala was elected. Because that means inflation would have kept going, a bunch of stuff would have been driven. This how, all the French would have been the Mexicans because we that country was poor.
But here's the thing, though. But here's the thing. That's not even why it was done. It would just be because America itself was weak.
They was. Alien country to the Titans. Will letting people come into our country isn't inherently a bad thing. The bad thing is wherever those people start committing crimes and stuff. Especially this kind of Nazi players. People that committed crimes, and you have committed a crime if you came into the country illegal. It's in the name of breaking the law.
Exactly. It's not us being racist.
It's not America being racist to not allow people who come in here illegally to stay in here and instead of get deported. Like, I know a Russian immigrant by the name of Mishan. She's essentially just part of my family now. I mean, I've known her since I've been alive. But
Also, you guys muttering now.
What is on my honey? What is he said that involved lesson. Back on top.
anyways, though, I'm not over there going like, I mean, sure, I might crack a few jokes about her being communist from time to time because that's just Russia's history.
Wait, senior digital folk I get Taku because she's
No, she's not a communist. She's not a, but she came from a communist country in the past, and that's why we make fun of her. It's all good fun though because she doesn't care that much about it.
all in for all of their
But
if I genuinely like it's all in good all in joke. Exactly. She says one communist thing. Saw it in the life. All in good fun. I'm just peeling what is left in here life.
Okay, that's weird, but okay.
it like, nah, in many ways, the South is absolutely correct because things like the John Brown raid and the raid of John Brown had them kill it how it have been killing like one type Amazon sick that all these people. No, absolutely not.
Was the
It's murder.
there is not it's murder. You killed a bunch of ass.
And it was the families, jeez, the innocent children. He killed them. Like, a couple of them didn't even own slayers.
Yeah, but what he was doing it for? What's he doing it for? Okay, how we did it, not a.
I rather think was the politics back there. The North was not exactly hiding the fact that they hated the South, and the South had almost every reason to fear the North because the North tells.
Then it was a psychic cop. The North get then the North kid then slaves. The North get then slaves. The slaves.
That's not exactly right.
Well, I mean Wednesday. Okay, so let's just say America getting slaves, right?
There's box slaves. If they're online.
Next.
Yeah.
Me's.
The whole fiasco is not because of slavery itself. It's really because of the rising tensions between the North and the South. If there were no tensions between the North and the South, there wouldn't be no civil.
Yeah, I think that's a wrap, folks. That's a wrap, guys. We'll see you in our next episode.